everyone, happy Wednesday to all of us. As you can see, the winter is coming. I'm feeling breezy, so I'm welcoming you in the winter jacket or autumn jacket. Hello everyone who is joining us right now, wherever you're joining us from. Today we will be talking about letting go of the past hurts. Is a subject that I think I believe that many of us will be able to relate to, because I believe as long as we are human beings, I didn't yet met a person who would tell me, do you know what, my life was absolute breeze. You know, there was nothing that I came across that would be challenging or awful. My life was actually, you know, perfect. I didn't have any challenges. You know what I'm saying, right? It doesn't happen. Life really offers us a lot of challenges, a lot of things that happen that we often need a capacity to forgive, to when we maybe even hit the rock bottom. So things in life happen, and it really is about what it make it mean, what, you know, how do we deal with it, and whether we choose the story that's going to run our life for the rest of our lives, and disempowering us to such a degree that we maybe sometimes are not even aware of, or do we create a story that actually changes our life and make us a stronger, better people that actually appreciate the fact of what happened was actually amazing thing, and it was a gift. So we will be talking about that, and I'm welcoming Martinka. Hi.
Hi everyone.
You've got a nice little light. I feel like I'm in a shadow today.
I've got the best spot in my bedroom.
Oh, very good. I don't, you know, I'm broadcasting always from the different place. Today is from my mom's home. Behind me, that little picture, that's my sister when she was 18. So anyway, welcome everyone. Very briefly, we are going to introduce, for all of you who are joining us, the subject. So today we are talking about and sharing about how to let go of the past in such a way that you are being free to move forward in your life. So welcome everyone. Martinka, before we start, let's introduce ourselves. I give you I'll give you space for that.
Thank you. So hi everyone. Happy Wednesday. My name is Martina Stewart. For those who don't know me yet, I've been living in the UK for last 20 years. I've got 2 children. Today we went with my youngest one to see a secondary school in the morning, so it's quite scary. So next year I'm gonna have 2 children in secondary school. They're growing so fast. And what I love is talking about veganism offline, online. I love this lifestyle. I created also a vegan group, and what I can say, most people are looking into this lifestyle, which is so good. And to 2018 was the like a peak of the veganism, because so many people changing their view, how we're living, what we're eating, and you know, we do have to start looking into our environment and into our earth, because it's just so much plastic everywhere, and it's just not right. So that's me.
Yeah, and you know, like, it's great what you do, Martinka, and this is the thing, like, it's we often have, I just had a client with this conversation, amazing, that is coming up again, is that a lot of things in our world, in society, in the news, right, we come across it every day, that we have them as done is not right, it shouldn't be there. And you know, with this kind of in our mind, it's sometimes is limiting us to make another choice. So what you are talking about, what you're sharing, is that, you know, we have a choice, and we have freedom of choice, and a lot of times we have actually much more freedom of choice than we think we do. Sometimes we are just we are just being blocked by either not seeing it, or being being stuck in a place, or maybe not having a confidence enough, or you know, there are things that are stopping us from moving forward, and it can be anything in life. So when I'm sharing this, maybe, you know, even if you're open to it, maybe what would be great if you like consider like, okay, what in my life, you know, what am I experiencing where I feel like I'm stuck and I don't actually have a choice, you know, whether it's like being in that job that you know, just go there, but Sunday is a torture because, you know, Mondays the slavery starts, you know, that kind of thing. But there's always a choice. There's always a choice, same as the choice of what we put into our tummies. And that choice is great because it's more and more choice of finding the healthy options. So thank you, Martinka, that you are here for all of those who are open to this new way. Good. We have a first comment from Julia. Hi, Julia, to Slovakia. I'm not far from you now. And Julia said in English, she's saying, I'm finally home and I can watch you girls, and you are talking in English. Oh no, I think I'm going to learn now. She's greeting us. Julia, hi. Zlatičko, je čas učiť sa anglicky. Ahoj moja. Super. Ninka, hi everyone, welcome. So, very briefly, I introduce myself. My name is Lucia Hoxa. Many of you know me. Ilka experienced my taster yoga session in a few months ago. So I am a yoga teacher. I do retreats, predominantly in Slovakia. Soon we are running Om Yoga show in London, guys. If you're interested, there are still some tickets. It's one of the biggest shows in the world of this kind, and I'm very privileged. I will be able to you know, be there. So like it will be 3-day show, and we actually have a competition for that as well, which I will share in the comments after our broadcasting, so you can win the tickets for this show. That's very valuable. It's so much that will be happening there, from all sorts of yoga classes and lectures, and it's like being Alice in Wonderland. I highly recommend it. That's where one of these shows is where my personal development started. This amazing journey in 2002, I think. And yeah, so I would like to invite you all. If you're interested, I can give you more details. It's called Om Yoga Show. And also on my wall, there is a lot of information about it if you scroll down. So I'm a yoga teacher and professional transformational lifestyle coach. I work with ladies. Work is not kind of word that I would use, but for the sake of, yeah, I support you guys, those of you who are ready to really, you know, it sounds like cliche, live the life you love, but I mean it. You know, do something. You are in a space of, you are in transition of your life, and you're starting feeling that, you know, there must be something else that is possible for me in my life, in this area. Or when you are feeling like, wow, I'm really stuck, my hands up. Like sometimes we do. Sometimes I got, many times in my life, in fact, I got to the situations in my life when I was thinking, do you know what, this thing is just not moving, and I'm stuck. You know, sometimes we get to that point, and it's very empowering and actually very courageous. And I salute you all who choose this path, because I know it's challenging. At the same time, it's the most beautiful journey and very rewarding. So those of you who are ready, I support, and I do it with a lot of love. That's what I do. I currently live, my God, just about everywhere, but currently I'm in Slovakia. I've got an amazing husband, and you know, I'm in between Slovakia and Ireland, and making the most out of it everywhere I am. So that's a little bit about me. And now let's introduce the theme and what we are going to be talking about. So Maćka, what's the subject? What we are going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about learning how to let go of the past, a past when we got hurt. But before we're gonna start, I wanted to say to you, you know, talk about the changes and when we should change and when maybe we should see that, when, you know, the change or something. And I had a really good conversation with my friend the other day. We went for coffee, and you know, the earthquake what was in end of the August in Indonesia somewhere. She was there with her family. She went there for 2 days, and the first day she went there, it was the earthquake. And she basically, with her little boys, experienced the most, you know, scared moment when you think you're going to lose yourself and your family and your children. You know, it was so when she was telling that story, it was like, and she said, you know what, when I was in there, it was like a film. You know, I just did not believe I'm in that kind of position. And when the earthquake stopped, the second thing she was thinking was the tsunami. And she said she saw like a big tall tower or something, and she was just thinking what she's gonna do if it's gonna happen, you know, and all of these things. And she was just describing it into so details. And I was thinking, so after all of this, you know, see, she's back in the UK, everything is now good. But she said it's shaking her so much that I think sometimes when we're experiencing those things in our life, oh my God, it's just completely changed the view you're living. She said, now I know the time. The time is the most precious thing for me. You can have money, everything, but the time. So, you know, just this is, I wanted to share with you guys, because we never know what's behind the corner. You know, she went for a 3 weeks holiday. She thought it's gonna be the best holiday ever. She was in her swimming costume when everything did happen. So we never know, you know, what's happening. So I just wanted to share this, that we should not take everything for granted and just enjoy our lives.
Thank you for sharing that, Martinka. And I want to say that, do you know what is interesting? That we hear it so many times, and I know that I have things in my life, not just this, but this is a really good example, that we hear it so many times in our life, and we are like, okay, yeah, it's true, and it's almost like it's like a theory, like a concept, and it's like, yeah, it's true, but
till you're not in that situation, you mean?
But unless you really are close, and probably one of the biggest gifts we can get in life, really. And I bet you anything that, you know, in your friend's case, she was ready for that kind of experience. She probably, you know, in some kind of way, it's going to sound, hopefully it won't sound like in a bad way, but she probably needed that shake up, because it happens, you know, things like car crashes, things like, you know, the punches in life, you know, it's basically God's. I really do believe that is the universe's way of saying, like, wake up. And it's the biggest gift. And it comes when there's nothing else we are listening to.
Well, that was a happy end. Okay, I'm yeah. You know, I know what you're saying. It was a happy end because nothing happened, even though she thought they're all going to die there, because she was so afraid something will happen. So, but yeah.
Sometimes the only way to value what life itself, because that's gifts, not what we are going through, the only way to really feel the true appreciation is to be very, very close to mortality itself. Either we are experiencing it ourselves or someone very close. Matthias, you know, our heart dies. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I would love you guys to comment and let us know, have you been in situation that was close to death situation, or something you experienced you know, dying? I actually had an amazing conversation as well this week with my friend Monica, and you know, she said to me she had a privilege, and literally she said she had a privilege as a carer to spend the last moments with one old lady near her deathbed. She didn't have a family anymore. She didn't have anyone. So it was my friend and another carer, both of them from each side of the bed, that been holding her hand and been able to be with her in her last moments. And, you know, she said it was such a, like, she never done that before with anyone. And she said the way this lady left her physical body was so peaceful in her case. It was so beautiful. She was so loved, although she didn't have anyone from the family there, because she didn't have anyone. She had these two very special ladies with her, and, you know, they provided this of love and really like unconditional love for her. And she said that experience gave her, of course, a lot. And she said one beautiful thing that she said, you know, it was when this lady died, and the moment she died, if there is such a thing like the light came into the room because she was terminally ill for a long time. The light came into the room through the windows, and she felt it was such a strong feeling. She felt like, uh, you know, the whole house was filled with blooming roses. It was that kind of energy that came from the moment she left her physical body. And there was such a beautiful experience for them because they knew that it is a sign that she is in a good place and better place, and that she's very grateful because that's what she left with them. So yes, and it's interesting we are sharing this at the beginning of the theme that we are just going to be talking about, because really I chose this subject to talk about because life is so short to be guided and to be governed and to be filled with regret or hurts from the past. Because the fact is that the past is the past and it's gone.
Mm.
Literally, the sentence that I said before this sentence is already in the past. It's gone.
Yeah.
When I said it's gone a moment ago, that's also gone now. And so all we have really is the now, here and now, like now, right here, right now. And maybe it is amazing to keep on reminding ourselves and really applying it into life moment by moment, as you know, we spend so much time in the past of what happened, or planning for the future of what we want, what we need to do. Of course, like we need to do a certain amount of that because we need to function. It's very healthy, I believe, to keep on reminding ourselves whenever we can and really living it, that the present moment is really the only thing we have. Because we are not fully alive. We are not really alive in a past or in a future. Future didn't happen yet and past is gone. So the only thing we have is here now. What do you hear in that?
No, I heard that what you're saying before, that we are concentrating either on what it was, you know, or what we want, but not actually enjoy where we at the moment. You know, it's like if you want your goal to become something or someone, or you want to reach something, you just see yourself there, but you actually need to also enjoy the journey.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's
you're
like,
right. I mean, I can be guilty of that as well. I'm think of the past and I overthink things, and I need to learn to make that kind of cut. You know, what it was. Stop. You know, you're not gonna change what happened. So yeah, this is going to be interesting today.
okay,
I'm
good.
gonna learn.
So
Yeah.
welcome everyone, Zuzka, Lisa, hi girls. And Monica is saying, hello ladies. She's sending us kisses. Thank you very much, Monica. So yeah, let's start.
Let's start. So I cannot see the comment, so you have to keep an eye on that today. So the first thing we've got here is make the decision to let it go. So things don't disappear on their own. You need to make the commitment to let it go. If you don't make this conscious choice up front, you could end up self-sabotaging any effort to move on from this past hurt. Yeah. So when we always bringing the past, And this is sabotaging as always when it's like something happened in the past negative, yeah. So something happened, like maybe the outcome of it, and now we're still sabotaging ourselves. So the best thing would be, what it was, it was. We learned something from it. Let's just move on. Yeah.
Yeah. And 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 I know, guys, for those of you who are watching us, Martina, you've been cutting off a little bit, but basically what Martina was sharing, she's reading from the article that I'm sending on monthly basis, something hopefully new and interesting and empowering to you guys. So if you want to get the whole article, we just kind of read the little sections of it, and we share from this space. So let me know if you want to receive it. Just drop me a little personal message or comment. And what Martinka was saying, because he was cutting off a little bit, is the first choice if we want to stop past influencing our future. So when we've been hurt in the past, stop that determining how we feel in the present moment, whether it's sadness or anger or suffering. Normally it will be negative emotion that is making us feel unhappy. Is first is to maybe like have the yeah, I actually do have, you think we all do, guys, I do, we all have things that happen in our past that influenced us to the degree that we don't even know how much it influenced us. Just consider that there is whatever, wherever you don't feel the freedom, whether it's your financial situation or is your relationship or your career, where you're not feeling fulfilled. It is all connected about something that happened in the past. Many times it doesn't seem to have any relevance to it. When I'm speaking to my clients who, and I have extraordinary people on my team, like there's a lady who's got a very good property business that she launched very successfully, and now she's on different level, but because she's on different level, she now have new challenges, and she's got a goal of having her own factory, and really like amazing goal of providing, like a Batia, right, in Slovakia used to be like, he was very successful businessman, he was very kind and very generous with people. That kind of thing she's creating, to have employees who will be staff, that there will be importance on their health, and she and work-life balance, like really doing a business in a new way. And what she had was now I forgot what I wanted to say because I got so amused about, yes, letting go of the past. So, she's getting stuck. She got to a certain level and she's saying, I just don't know how to move forward from here. And, so you were thinking, oh, it's to do with finances, it's to do with, but actually it's to do with what happened when she was, 5, 7, 8 years old, and dynamics of the family, actually, her ancestors, how they been brought up, what was their relationship with money, with life, with how she was treated, what messages she got from her grandparents, what she made it mean about herself, who she is, and it is extraordinary journey that is nothing to do with money. It's actually about her relationship with the world and with herself. And once that is being cleared up, which is the past, then that is providing a beautiful clear space where this woman is able to create absolutely anything. Really, she's a powerhouse. So that's what we are talking about. The first thing is acknowledge that, yes, I consider that my past is standing in a way of my future, what I really want in life. So it's that awareness, and then it's about conscious choice that yes, I want to let go, and I'm kind of like done with this, and I'm ready.
I know, but it takes time to learn this, and also because I can see I'm working on something now. I'm letting it go. but it's a journey, isn't it? You cannot let go. So it's as long as it's taking the journey, in the end it's hurting less, and then it's easier maybe to let go, because in the beginning, what do you reckon? It's my experience, okay? Because a few weeks ago or a few months ago, it was stronger and I was more angry on the situation than I'm now. Maybe because the time is passing, I'm getting used to that outcome, and it's so. Is it like that, or can you
Yeah.
learn speed it up and not speed, yeah, so you don't, that journey is not as long, or does it have to be as long as
It's
you need to be long?
listen, is very good question, and I know that you work on yourself. Like many of girls who are listening to us, they do they're open, right? There's no coincidence if who is watching us, these people, because they're already on their journey. You are guys already on your journey. That's one of the reasons why I love doing this, because many of you send me a message and say, Luz, like, because sometimes we get to the point that alone we can only take it as far. Or we can take it further, of course, because but it's a very strong, slow process, and is also a choice. If we choose to speed it up more, like sometimes we need like that support, and with that it happens much faster with the right kind of support, with the especially if you're working, especially like about coaching and about one-to-one work. It is extraordinary process, and it actually many times surprises me how fast this thing happen, because it's like you get a steroids, and you get that boost. So it's extremely powerful, because I know on myself, I'm trained to do this, but apply it on myself, I can only take it to certain, I also got people who, and I know the theory, but on yourself is really challenging to apply it. So sometimes you need that and you need to get to that place when you are ready to invest your time, your energy, when you are like, okay, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready to invest in myself, because that's the most precious investment you can make. And yeah, I mean, the rest is yeah, I just love what happens to you guys. So does that make sense?
Yeah,
Does
it's
that answer
saying
your question?
if either it's two ways to do it. It's deal it with yourself. It might
Yeah,
take longer, but in the
yeah,
end of the day, you will see what if you had, for example, someone to help you to see it before. So if you're
yeah,
dealing with something by yourself, it takes longer. Then someone else would show it to you earlier on. I think
yeah.
that's what I understood what you're saying.
Yeah, and also like
You
sometimes not
help
only that it
you
takes
help
longer, but there are
people
so-called,
at the end.
yeah, and there are so-called blind
Go on.
spots. I know that if I would have my coaches in the past, I would never. Well, I can't tell, because I can't compare, because it's difficult right now to tell. But I know they accelerated process, not only accelerated, but because those blind spots, I just wouldn't be able to see myself. Maybe never, because it's just impossible. It's like like certain parts of your body you can't see, because you can't, or you can't scratch even your back, certain parts of your back, even if you're really flexible, unless you've got really long hands, and that's why, that's probably a good example, right? Because someone else can scratch you or see it, but it's your blind spot. You really can't even see it, can't even scratch it. So that's very, very powerful thing. And
Yeah.
the truth is, this process happens much better when we are not in isolation. We need each other, right? And if it's something very empowering that is calling you, then it's a good choice. Yeah. but we need to mature to it, because I know, like, I can tell the stories how much I was procrastinating something that would make a lot of difference to me. And then when I done it, it's like, oh my God, I wish I'd done it, years ago. My life would be so much better, much earlier. I had to go through all this suffering on my own because I was like, I couldn't do it myself. It's funny, I do that all the
But that
time.
is your journey,
Good.
isn't it?
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Do we
yes.
have
It's
any
part
comments?
of the journey. We have a lot of people joining us. No comments, but keep on, girls, write to us, or just send us a little heart, just so we know you're there. It's not just on our screen.
Yeah.
We like it because we love you too.
Shall we start with the number 2? Yeah. Express the pain. So express your pain and your responsibility. Express the pain the hurt made you feel, whether it's directly to the other person or through just getting it out of your system, like venting to a friend or writing in a journal or writing a letter you never sent to another person. Get it all out of your system at once. Doing so will also help you to understand what oh my God, I can't say it. Specific, I can't say it, Lucia. Anyway.
You can't say it. Is that a word
but
you
can't
pronounce?
I can't say it. But what I want to say to that, I'm reaching out to a friend because I've got something I want to because what you're saying, let it out of your system, find a friend, writing out to a journal. I'm reaching out to a friend for a chat, for a coffee. And just because I know if I ventilate myself to her, I know she will help out. So isn't that right? Like, isn't that nice as well, that if you got a problem and you know who will listen to you or who will tell you, oh, come on, no, you will change either that situation because that person will look at it differently. So, and I'm still waiting for that coffee that we're going to arrange, and so I can ventilate.
Yeah. And this is the thing, and we come to the point, is like, it so matters who we are being surrounded by, right? Because you can have that coffee with someone who is going to be, not present with you, and who is going to go, yeah, I know what you're talking about, it happened to me, la la la, and it's a completely different case, right? But having a friend, a coach, whoever it is, quality person who is being with you, listening without interrupting, like really active listening, we call it. It's gift itself, without judgment, without putting their thing on the top of it. So you're being fully heard. It's a gift yourself. So gift itself. And so we are in this number 2. We are talking about, like, it's very important. We talk about it often, right? To communicate your feelings, to write it down, to whatever works. Some people, it works better to write things down. Some people like to talk about things, but it's really, really, really important is not to bottle it down, and to learn how to, especially when we are a little bit shy, to learn how to communicate our feelings, to not to be scared that we will be judged, to choose those people we trust, and attract those people that come into our lives, or reach out to them who we believe that will be this kind of person for a person. So that's the one part of it, because in isolation our thoughts, our mind has got a capacity to destroy us, because if we are suffering in silence, we are kind of replaying the old movie of hurt, disappointment, regret,
in a cycle.
And it's devastating. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Unless we choose to get it out and take that first steps, like, you know what, I'm done with this. I don't know, guys, please put us a little hand up or thumbs up if you came across a situation where you experienced something and you talked about it so much, about how much it was painful, how much it hurt you, and so, you know, that you actually start being bored of yourself, of your story, of your hurt, of your tragedy. You know, it's like boring now. I know I had it. I was like, do you know what? I'm done with this. And actually, we had a fantastic exercise. I know I don't know what I was. It was one of the courses, and the exercise was there that, you know, we had it was big. It was like 150 people, and we buddied up. And the task was of always person A and person B. And person A was supposed to tell the most painful story of their life, like genuine, not made up, like true thing, what happened. And, you know, some of them like as heavy as, you know, rape and sexual abuse, like really, really heavy stuff, people being murdered. I mean, really, people deal with a lot of stuff. It's not unusual, sadly, but, you know, it is what it is. And they've been supposed to tell this story, but really exaggerate it, like in theater. I know it sounds weird, girls, but experiencing this, and I saw it happening. You know, at the time I was dealing with the diagnosis of my father having Parkinson's. It was massively, massively devastating for me, being very close to my father. And I was playing this because for me it was equivalent of like, when he dies, I want to die with him, and I'm going to die. So it was my own fear of not just losing him, but also my life is going to finish. It was very heavy for me at the time. And, you know, I was supposed to tell this story in the dramatic way, you know, for 15 minutes. It was exhausting. Towards 15. The end, interesting, 15 minutes non-stop. Wow. You know, you stand up, you feel like an idiot, but the point of it is, you know, everybody dropped the barriers, you know, and strangers as well. And, you know, I was telling this dramatic story, and I was like, really, and, you know, I was screaming and shouting and crying. Imagine 150 people. It was very loud. And you know what happened, Machi, is that towards the end of that exercise, you're using energy, breath, everything. And me personally, and a lot of people had a similar experience, we got present to the ridiculousness of our suffering. And me personally, like towards the end, I started like laughing because, do you understand? Like about, it's not that situation was laughable. It was still saying nothing changed. But I just, you know, it was exaggeration, what I'm experiencing in my life, in my thoughts, in my soul. Anyway, this kind of pain and suffering. And because I exaggerated, I had, you know, I experienced myself what kind of suffering I'm going through. And because of this person, this other person B who was listening, was supposed to show no emotion whatsoever. That was their task. Imagine. Right. Yeah. So it wasn't like, oh my, there was no words from the other person.
He just was looking at you like.
It was just no physical, you know, they were supposed to look at us like, it was quite challenging. Yeah, because you are listening, and natural reaction for all these people was like, oh my God, I want to hug you, I want to, you know, yeah, but they really had a challenge just to stay neutral as possible, because that was a part of the exercise. Guys, it's challenging to share about it because experiencing it is, you know, very, very powerful. But I hope it doesn't make sense. And what it happened afterwards is that the impact of this exercise was massive release, and I never, you know, I made a peace. Since that day, I made a peace with my, it's not that I don't find it challenging, but I made a peace. Yeah. I made a peace with what is, and I found it much more easier to accept my father's fate, and be more compassionate and loving, and see it as a, not straight away as a gift, but start seeing something positive in it, so I can learn about myself. I'm still learning. Does that make sense?
It does, because when you were saying that, I was the thing I've got now in a head, and then you're saying like a building up and giving it all out. In the end, you're just saying, "Oh my God, fuck it, I'm done with it. That's it, isn't it?"
Yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
You speed up the process. You will speed up the suffering, not slowly. Yeah. You will get it all out, and that's it. You're looking at it like that's it.
Yeah.
So when
And
you were
don't worry,
saying that, I was actually seeing myself doing it. Yeah.
good, and do it. Even if you, I mean, it's great to do it with a partner because it's great, but you can do.
And the partner had to just looking at you like that.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like actually towards the end, I was like laughing. You know, we couldn't, I mean, we've been both started laughing, but it was the part of the healing process. And it was such a release. It was such like, you know, I could feel how I was getting lighter, things being falling. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Even in the body, I felt, you know, everything dropped. Yeah, and that laughter, that was basically just like, wow. How can I laugh? You know, I never thought I would be able to laugh about it. Thank you so much for Little Heart. I think you kind of recognize something in yourself, which is great. Good. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. And please, guys, you know, and if you don't have a buddy, do it in the mirror. Do it in the mirror with yourself. So yeah, we've been saying, you know, letting it go. This is one of the ways, and also take responsibility. So take responsibility for what you can take a responsibility in that situation. I can talk about it for 2 hours, but you know, in this article there is more written about it. And taking responsibility, I just say this, is not the same as it's my fault. Taking guilt is very, very different. It's actually very empowering. Taking responsibility of what happened. And you can ask, you know, what can I, you know, why should I take responsibility for something horrible happened to me when I was 5, which I had no influence on, you know? And I had a lady this week who's got a fear of flying, and she's flying on Friday, and we went deep into where her fear started. I was 5 years old, where, you know, her dad came, you know, drunk, and she was scared of her life, but mainly she was scared for her mother's life. And that was repeatedly happening till she was 16. And, you know, she felt hopeless. So, you know, you can ask like how she can take responsibility for. But the question is, and what we are saying with this is not like what she can feel guilty, or, you know, like, of course none of this was her fault, but what she can take a responsibility, which means that she will take her power back, is a realization that, you know, the fear that was running her life for so many years, and now she's, you know, scared of things like flying, and it impacts her in many ways in life, which she's not even aware of yet, is that she can take responsibility for acknowledging that she lived the fear that she let impact her life since the age of 5. And again, it's not her fault, but it's just take a responsibility and be aware of it. It's like, wow, I can really, you know, I'm taking responsibility for, you know, for allowing this to, you know, being unhappy and maybe not reaching out for help for so long. I can definitely take responsibility for that. Yeah. So, and the impact is like, wow, I can, you know, it really gives me power to deal with the situation newly. Very powerful.
Excellent. Now it's 1:45. We're not gonna start the number 3, are we? Or shall I just read them out? 3, 4, 5. Can I read them out?
Shall we continue in no, shall we, yeah, next week? Yeah, because I don't want to brush it under the surface. I think this is, and I felt like we can go through these 5 points really quick, but I hope this is giving you something, guys. Like, so yeah, let's finish it next week, and we will be broadcasting in Slovak, but I see a lot of Slovak people here as well. And those of you who would like to see the article is written in English and in Slovak, so just let me know if you want to see it. In case you're English and we are finishing this in Slovak, then at least you can have an article with the rest of it. Okay, so let us know.
Can I just say when
what
you
is
coming
opening up
for the
to you?
yoga thing? I just wanted to ask about that yoga thing. When you're coming? 19. Do I?
I'm flying on 16th, and yeah, it's that weekend after that. So I sent you the details, guys. Join this competition. I mean, it's so that easy. You can get these
You have to
tickets,
book
and you
it.
can come for all 3, or you can book it. Yeah, you have to book it. I think there are a lot of tickets. I mean, there will be thousands of people, so there should be tickets, but I'm not sure. I actually am not sure. So I send you the link with the details, guys. It's going to be amazing. And yes, I will be teaching. I will have aroma yoga there. I will have empower yourself workshop there. So and that's all free of charge. And not only my workshops and teaching, but also many. You can join so many things, and there will be so much happening. Like really, there are about 500-600 exhibitors. I didn't count them, but a lot of interesting things. You can, there are like funky things, like you can, your aura.
Yeah.
You guys heard of it, right? They're like different colors and stuff. You can actually, can you believe? This was possible already 7 years ago, maybe even more. But there's a machine that can take a photograph of your aura.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love
They're
that.
like funky on the workshop, and you can have it, and it's not that expensive, and they will give you explanation of it, like what kind of energy you have. It's really amazing. You will find, from precious stones, candles, there will be like nice little things to buy, and smelly stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just like done this first time.
I'm
It's like
thinking to come on Sunday.
enjoy it, and come and see us, of course. Come, we will. I
Of
said,
course.
come for a hug. At least. And yeah, if you want to come for a workshop, guys, it's free. But make sure that you are there like early, so you get a spot, and so you fit in, because I don't know how many spaces there will be. Maybe there is only 100 spaces, and people, first come, first serve. So be there on time or earlier if you can. Good. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm sitting here, and you know how I felt. I'm so warm now.
You warm up. Oh, coolio. So we'll see you each other on Wednesday, and we'll finish this in Slovak.
Yeah, we will. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. And Matka, I'm so glad to see you glowing again. It's great. See you later, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.